Good afternoon and welcome to our June 5th, 2025 Cable Commission meeting. It's nice to see everybody today. Great attendance for us here this afternoon. We'll start with the approval of minutes. Everyone's had a chance to read and accept those. We'll take a motion.
I make a motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Second. Roll call. If everyone approves, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. We'll move on to correspondence. Does anyone have any correspondence for the group? Seeing none. Visitors, we got a packed house in the stands. We have no visitors here today. And we'll move right into staff reports and start with Service Director updates with Mike Testa.
Okay. Thank you, Steve. A couple of items that I'll touch on and before we turn it over, and I'd like to spend a little bit of time talking about the proposed cable rate increase, but an update on the fiber project. We've been making pretty good progress. We've got about 2,500 homes passed, about 750 installations have been completed. And I don't know if you've been on our city website in a while, but if you go to the website, click on fiber and then fiber locations, you'll see that we've got a live real-time availability map. So it's color-coded in different sections, if you will. So for example, the blue sections are areas that are ready for installation. The orange sections are currently under construction. If it's pink or red, depending how you see it. Construction will be starting there soon, and then yellow sections are in the planning phase right now. But it's an opportunity for anyone to log onto the website, put in their address, and have a real-time updated view to where we're at in their area in terms of being ready to do installations. So I'd like to thank Kevin and our Aspen project managers because they've spent a lot of time getting that ready, and it's really, from the work they've had to do at a very granular level because they need to break down the city in almost, in some cases, neighborhood by neighborhood. What's vectors or polygons to be as accurate as possible. So we've made a lot of progress on that. Just want to remind the commissioners too that as we go through the installation process, when we're in an area doing installations, we're prioritizing existing customers, so they'll be installed first to the new fiber network, and then new folks will be added to that. We've got a good product out there. We're converting people over. We offer something, without hidden fees, without contracts, extremely fast speeds, and really just approved all-around performance, not just with the product itself, but also with the service and the management of that from Kevin and his crew. So, we'll have options available for streaming services as low as $35 a month, and just wanted to share that update with you and really kind of start getting the word out that, that map, which has been up for a while now, but it's, every month we make greater progress in updating it and getting down to a more granular level so anybody can see where they stand or if they're ready for installation. So I don't know if you guys have any questions about the project, but.
I have a question. So some people in Wadsworth where the fiber optic has been laid can sign up for streaming, right? They can subscribe now.
So anyone can sign up for streaming. When we convert someone to fiber, it's the only choice.
Okay.
But a current cable subscriber can choose to move to the streaming platform if they choose.
Even if fiber is not
Correct.
in their area yet.
So when you get fiber put in your neighborhood, you don't have to do anything. You automatically get put on fiber.
We'll have to schedule time to come into your home to put the appropriate equipment in, connect it, do a little education with each individual customer, and test it to make sure that it's all working properly.
So my question is then, of the percent of the number of hookups available, houses that could switch to fiber optic. Do you have an idea what % have? Or are they just staying on cable?
Well, one of the challenges that we faced that we didn't know that we would face is existing customers, we thought once the fiber was up, would immediately,
Yeah.
have a bee in their bonnet, so to speak, about getting converted. But when you have internet that works fine anyway,
Yeah.
it's, and life is busy, I'm like, yeah, I'll get around to it.
Okay.
So it's been a challenge to get people scheduled, and everyone's busy, we understand that. But there will come a time when we will have to start picking and choosing, and we'll tell an area that, say, was turned up for fiber optics 6 months ago, then the next 2 months or next month, we're going to turn down the cable.
Right.
And if you don't get converted, you
And
could
then
experience an interruption.
You're going to have the issue of everybody wants connected at
Right.
once.
Right.
Yeah, we've spent a lot of time in planning, trying to kind of smooth this out. One of the problems that we're facing is, our folks are calling to set up appointments, but oftentimes they might need to call someone, 2, 3, 4
Oh, yeah.
times before we get a call back. So that's probably a little bit unexpected that, just that.
Have you mailed letters to people to say, it's now available and sooner or later you're going to have to switch, so do it now before the rush?
So we have door hangers. We've had some help
Okay.
from Susan Hale and her team, because you've got, the meter guys who go out. And so we're going to some of those areas that were set up early to do that. We've had some response from that.
Okay.
We have billing messages. We generally don't do direct mail because it's expensive. And we've got other avenues to get a hold of people.
Are we, for those that are not tech savvy, like myself, or perhaps some older people in the community who might be adverse to this change because they don't have a clue what this means, what it is, how to work it, how much information is being given to those people to alleviate their, just the fact that, well, can I watch TV on my TV now still? And is my TV good enough? Or this type of thing.
Right. So most TVs today, because of the lifespan of a TV, are going to have the capability of handling streaming. There are very few TVs in our environment that don't. So typically, the new platforms are easier to operate. The streaming platforms are easier to operate than the old cable ones were. And I'll just use as my own personal example. I have a daughter with disabilities who has a streaming platform available to her. I was concerned that she wouldn't be able to navigate it. No problem. They are very intuitive, very simple to use. For people that are a little less tech savvy, we can also set up favorites. So most of us, if you have 150 channels, probably watch 15 or 20, and we can set those up in a really easy area to find for people. So generally, it's an aversion to the new technology, but it's not a challenge once you show it to somebody. And so having the tech in the home to go over that and answer questions and make people feel comfortable. We're also going to look at putting some tutorials up on the website. So if you ever have a question, you can just go to the website and watch the tutorial and it'll tell you.
Yeah, so, not only are we maintaining our call hours here longer into the evening, so typically we're taking calls on the weekends, on Saturdays, and then till 7 o'clock throughout the week in case folks have questions. But as part of the installation process, one of our technicians is basically, connecting it from the outside to the inside to the router, and they're spending time with folks to show them how it works and make sure that it's working and they're good with it. It just is part of us being there, as part of what CityLink does every day, so they're very good about that. And we've kind of built that into our installation timelines to allow for that, to make sure we're not leaving somebody with the product that they don't use or they feel was a step backwards.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mike.
Yep, so The next topic that I would like to discuss, and I know we got it out a little bit late, but we were able to summarize it in just a couple of pages. We have talked about, probably for about the last 6 months, that we were going to be working on a proposed rate increase for cable TV services. And we've outlined some of the key elements. In simple terms, the big thing that affects video, TV, streaming is the cost of the content. So, when you're buying a bundle, meaning we as a city, ESPN charges X amount per month for each subscriber. And if they want to raise their rates and people want ESPN, we're kind of basically in a position where we're absorbing those cost increase. And we've done that for a number of years. So we have not raised rates since 2018. Even though typically every year our costs have gone up. And we found ourselves really in a situation where, the 3 cable packages that we have now, we're losing money on those, and at a pretty reasonable clip per subscriber. So what we looked at was increasing the rates to, in some cases, cover our costs, or get very close to covering our costs, or with our most prevalent package, we won't cover our costs, but we will reduce the amount that we're losing on each customer. Now, you may ask, well, why is it you're not increasing costs or increasing pricing to cover costs? Well, there's a couple of reasons. One is we don't want to have large increases to the extent that someone may look at that and go, well, I think I'm going to look at Spectrum or a competitor or someone else, especially as we're moving to the streaming product, because the streaming products, our cost of content is much lower, and we're able to, in many cases, offer comparable packages at a lower price point and still be better off because there's a disproportionate decrease in content costs. So Kevin's put together an analysis of the numbers based on our subscribers. I can tell you that based on my calculations, it probably adds up roughly about $32,000 of gross revenue on a monthly basis to the city. It brings us closer to covering our costs. So I think on our basic package, we will cover our costs by $1 or so per subscriber. On the enhanced basic, we're probably still losing about $10 or $11 a subscriber, but that's better than losing $25. And then on the highest tier, the digital tier, I think our costs are, about $121 now.
Correct.
And this would raise the price to $119. So a lot of thought went into this to help recoup some of the losses, generate some additional revenue, but also keep prices at price points that wouldn't cause people to look for potential other customers while they're waiting to switch over to our streaming product. So our plan would be to present this to you tonight, to ask for your support, to present it to the Public Service City Council Committee next weekend, where the ask of them would be to consider putting it on council's agenda for the week of June 17th. And then typically legislation where there's a rate increase will go 3 readings, which would basically put the adoption of any increase pretty close to our next meeting at the beginning of August. But step 1 would be for you guys to look at this, ask questions, and then feel comfortable that we've justified the request, and we'd like to ask for your support.
A lot of people don't realize that those retransmission fees go up every year. It's not just once or twice. And I know I've heard from people that want to, well, we can just carry ESPN. We don't have to carry 2, 3, 4. And that's not the way it works. Those stations come to us in packages, and you either take the whole package or none at all. And that's one of the real cost drivers in that retransmission fee.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I remember when I was first getting my feet wet in this industry, I said to Kevin, don't we offer a custom package where, pick any 20 channels that you want. And he said, well, no, because we still have to pay for the other channels, because that's a requirement, that's how the content is offered up, so we can't pick and choose. And typically, you don't have an increase in every channel every year, but it's pretty common that that every channel would raise their prices at least once in 3 years. So you've typically got about a third of the channel owners increasing prices in a given year, and sometimes you have a greater percentage of folks doing that. So we have tried to absorb as much of those costs as we could over the years and keep our rates level. But we're getting to a point where we've got a couple different things going on. One is, our losses have increased on some of these products by a larger margin than we've experienced in the past. But we've also have a different product now that can provide basically the same content at a more reasonable price in many cases, and certainly at lower content costs to us, which promotes sustainability. And in fact, if you looked at the proposal, one of the things that we included was the cost of what the streaming packages would look like. So just as an example, you would see that, the premium package under the streaming product, would be less than what the cable rate would be with its increase. And we would still be able to achieve a surplus towards maintenance and sustainability, because we wouldn't be paying $121 for that content. We'd be paying, and I don't have it in front of me, but we'd be paying less, enough so that even though we're charging less, we're still able to cover costs and maintain the system.
Does the premium streaming tier include HBO or?
Does not include HBO, but it does include 18 movie channels like Stars and Encore and those channels. So
Okay.
it does add something that we don't currently have. So when compared to our top tier, which is 104,
Yeah.
it's 110, but it's got all those movie channels included.
Yeah, can people find the list of movie channels that it includes?
All of it's on the website.
Very good.
Any other questions?
I have a question. So we haven't raised rates for 8 years. I hope you're not going to plan to wait 8 years again. So what's the long-range plan?
Well, so, one of the ways that we're able to afford the fiber network project is, as we move through our installations and we're moving people to streaming products, we're going to be achieving a pretty significant amount in content savings. When everybody that's a current subscriber has moved over to the streaming product, we're probably saving about $1 million a year in content costs.
Okay.
So in terms of the cable rates, we're in a situation where every month as we install new customers and move them to streaming products, or people choose to move to a streaming product, the cable product is going away. So, 8 years from now, we
There
wouldn't have
won't
had
be-
cable for a while. And really, that's a benefit also of raising rates a little bit, is it, makes people take notice and can look at another product that we have and go, okay, maybe that's the impetus for me to switch now, because, I can get the same stuff and pay less for it.
So Mike, what I would ask is, completely agree. At first, when I looked at the cable rates, it's like, holy cow, that's a large increase. But your explanation and rationale, and it does make a lot of sense. We haven't done it in a long time. What I would ask is that when people call, and because there are people that are scared about going to streaming for sure, because they don't understand it and they don't know the technology. I was one of them several years ago when I did that. Is just continue to provide support for those people. And I know you have some already in place. I would just ask you to keep reviewing that and checking and making sure that everyone that comes and is fearful of that can get an opportunity to get some support and some help with that. I know you guys are doing that.
So there's 3 pieces to that. We've got our folks that are out in the field doing the installations, our installers and our techs. you've also got our customer service representatives here, some of whom are, specifically have the technical background for exactly that reason, to be able to walk customers through things. But we also have support agreements with some outside companies that can provide an even higher level of support, meaning if somebody has a problem, most of the time it can be addressed with either our person in the field or one of our call takers. But if it can't, we have immediate access to another level of service so we can get it taken care of. And that is, that's really one of the things that we've stressed with our installers, is that when you're into a home and you're making these connections, take the time, make sure people understand how these things work. Now, I will say this too, a lot of times when somebody has that new remote in their hand and they see that, oh, wait a minute, this is very much like, it doesn't have the cable box, but boy, it operates the same way. And you mean I can now do this and this and this that I couldn't do before? It's usually, they're usually satisfied.
Any other questions?
Well, I was just going to say, the thing you gave us, it explained that. I hope that you guys, when you do raise the rate, you send that out and explain how this stuff has happened so that people understand, because I know that I'll start getting questions as soon as, and if you explain that, then people understand it a little bit.
And that will be part of, it's part of our marketing efforts as we promote the streaming products. It's part of our marketing efforts as we're just expanding into the fiber network. But specifically, our folks that handle the calls, we've gone over things. They know what to say. They know how to explain it. And nobody likes an increase in prices, but most people, when they realize that, it's not just us sticking more money in our pocket, but, it's helping to support a system and we're still losing money, most people say, I wish it wasn't the case, but I understand it. But yeah, that's a good point, and we will continue to stress that and communicate that so people understand why the prices are going up.
Mike, are you asking us to vote on a support of this, or are you just?
I would ask that, that the group consider supporting that. I'd like to be able to share with Public Service Committee members that, hey, this has been discussed, and, they're in support of this. And to be fair, this is something that we've been talking about, not just with the Cable Commission, but certainly City Council. And, we've done some other things this year. If you've been following city stuff for a while, we've had to adjust water rates, sewer rates, and it's because we haven't done those things in a long time. So we have tried to be responsible when we're doing this. But yes, my request would be for consideration from the commission to vote in support of it.
I'll ask for a motion to support the proposed cable rates as submitted by Mr. Testa.
I make a motion that we support the proposed cable rates and that they be passed along with that recommendation to the Service Committee of Council.
Yep. Second?
I'll second.
Get a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign? Thank you. We appreciate it. Anything else, Mike?
Nothing else from my report tonight.
We'll move on to Joanna Perino with the WCTV update.
Thank you so much. Let's look at the numbers for the last 2 months. April and May, we had 253 new shows with a total of 638 for year-to-date. You can see the hours of new programming as well, and online viewing there at the bottom. The bottom of that is our watchwctv.com site, which was our original on-demand site, and you see there our year-to-date viewings are about 15,000. If you look to the right there, I posted also our YouTube viewings for year-to-date, quite a difference. So as you can see, most people are really taking to our new YouTube channel, and Aiden's been doing a great job with uploading videos, and I'll go over that on our next slide. So we're glad to be transitioning to that because the Watch WCTV site costs us quite a bit each year. And so maybe eventually in the next couple of years, we'll be able to completely transition to YouTube and save that money.
So it went on the screen. It
Yep,
didn't go
Aiden's
here.
got them up
Okay,
there.
okay.
So our next slide is our YouTube channel, and as you can see there, we now have 5,000 subscribers, almost. We're trying to get to that 5,000 subscriber goal, so keep sharing and subscribing. We have about almost 3,300 videos uploaded and over 1.2 million views so far on our YouTube channel. And that arrow points to the Thriller dance total. Every time I do a Cable Commission meeting, I talk about the Thriller video that was produced by Aiden and Abe last year at the Downtown Scare on the Square event. We are at 984,000 views on that, so we hope everyone will help us get to that 1 million views mark we're hoping to do it before this year's event in October, and I think we can do that. So if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to our channel, and we are monetizing the channel now, so every view counts. Watch the commercials, that's what gets us paid. And all those dollars that we raise through this monetization go to the WCTV Foundation, which in turn goes back to WCTV. And the next slide, as we continue to provide valuable programming to the community, one of our longtime partnerships has always been with the Wadsworth City Schools. And once again this year, we're happy to be able to provide coverage of these events, the year-end events and those celebrating our class of 2025. Hope you had a chance to watch the commencement this year. It was live streamed. Multiple cameras, graphics. Aiden Uzinski, who's up in our control room right now, did an amazing job and put in a lot of extra work to make this fantastic. I think it was the best one ever. We have had over 1,300 views on it already just on our YouTube channel. So we enjoy continuing to provide that for the schools. Over the past year, we have turned our focus a bit to producing our own content, in addition to continuing to help our community members create their own. Our goal is to highlight what makes Wadsworth a community unmatched. We all know it's a community unmatched, but we need to sometimes show other people and put it out there. So these are some of the videos that we've produced over the past month or two. You can see that we did a highlight video on the Trolley Line House, the Downtown Pocket Park, the Memorial Park Magnolias, which was so beautiful. Aiden Uzinski did those 3 videos, and hope you get a chance to look at them. They're also going to be used in our on our city's website for economic development, for marketing. So take a look at those. Also, we are providing some production services for Main Street Wadsworth and producing promos for their Main Street Wadsworth First Fridays. And one of the biggest events coming up on June 17th is the Wadsworth Blue Tip Parade. Our crew will be downtown on the square to bring you the parade live on our YouTube channel. Myself and Roger Wright will be the hosts and doing the announcing for our WCTV broadcast. The parade kicks off at the high school at 6 p.m., so our live coverage will begin probably around 6:20 when the first float hits the square. The Grand Marshal this year is the Wadsworth Rotary Club. They'll be lighting the Blue Tip match to kick off all the festivities. The Main Street Farmers Market starts on June 14th, so this is a reminder to support our WCTV Foundation and visit our very own Roger Polk down there at our booth. He'll be selling our 40 times $500 raffle tickets for $10, and we're only 16 tickets away from pulling our next winner, and I know every one of you up there at the desk have tickets in that hopper, so maybe you'll be the next lucky winner. So this will be our 20th winner. We may end up doing it at the first farmers market, so I think we might be able to reach that goal by then. The next drawing, like I said, will be our 20th, and so far we've given away $10,000. Wow. And my last announcement, and hence if we had a shot before of all the balloons around my chair, this announcement has been 33 years in the making. Yes, I have officially announced that I will be retiring on August 1st of this year. I've been so blessed to work with the City of Wadsworth with an amazing administration and co-workers throughout the years. I've had so much fun working with all our video producers and training and bringing their program ideas to fruition. The relationships I've built with all of you and the community members and leaders and local businesses are so valuable to me, and WCTV has fulfilled me beyond measure. But I'm not going far. I will remain involved with WCTV through the WCTV Foundation, and you may even see me doing more of what I really love to do, which is create programs, do interviews, maybe a podcast, run a camera for sports productions, but as a volunteer. I'll remain on the Chamber of Commerce Board as a representative of the WCTV Foundation. And so I'll be in contact with WCTV in the city and the community, not going anywhere. So I just feel really blessed that I have been able to do this job for 33 years and still love it. And I appreciate all your friendships and all the support throughout the years. And this is my last Cable Commission meeting, so I
Joanna, we
thank all of
thank you tremendously.
Thank you.
Clearly, your 33 years of service and excellence, you love Wadsworth, you love WCTV, we wish you well.
Thank
We know
you.
you're going to be successful. We know you're not going far.
Right.
We appreciate that. We are going to celebrate you at the end of the meeting. Thanks to Bruce Lorenz, we do have a cake. It's the
thank
only
you.
way that I know how to celebrate is with some cake. So we do have a cake for you, and we wish you well.
Thank you.
And we know we're going to miss you tremendously, but we know we also have your support as well, so thank you.
Absolutely. It's been a
Joanna,
pleasure.
did you ever think that WCT would grow in the many dimensions and its impact to the community? Did you ever in your wildest dreams think that?
Well, you know, I'm a big cheerleader for WCTV. You know that I think everything we do is absolutely cool, and I think everybody should want to be involved with it. So, yes, there's been a lot of changes, but I always have known that we are a valuable part of the community, a valuable part of the services that the city offers, and I hope it continues to grow and evolve into something that it needs to evolve into. So, and I will be right beside it, cheering it on and helping if needed. So I've told the staff if they need me to come back and volunteer and help and do anything, I will be there.
Appreciate it very
And
much.
any of you producers as well.
Thanks, Joanna.
Thank you.
And we'll switch over to Kevin, the CityLink update.
Thanks. Yeah, give me just a second here to get things set up. And I can't see. All right, thanks. Well, first, apologies to the commission for missing the last meeting for personal reasons, but so I've got an update for you here. In the last couple of months, April and May, they've been solid months for us as far as adding customers. The middle columns there, internet customers, we added 16 in April. We added 44 in May. The trend looks to continue that way over the summer, and we'll continue to see that kind of growth. We're approaching 6,000 subscribers in internet, which is a great number for us, which is nice to see. We also had positive growth in video the last couple of months, and that's typically a number that declines over time. It's still negative for the year, but the rate of decline continues to slow. So year to date, we're up 86 subscribers on internet, down 27 for video, which, as Mike mentioned, means we're actually more profitable than what we were before. And overall, the phone remains pretty consistent. It's a technology that's still kind of waning as far as the landline goes, but we make it available for people. As far as run rates, I always give this historic number and how things look. We're seeing strong growth, which is nice. Better growth than what we saw last year. I always look at a breakdown of the churn. So the churn activity in market, typically, predominantly those two largest pieces of the pie are people moving, and roughly 60 to 70% of subscribers who leave our service are leaving because they left our service area. Very few left, say, to go to the competition. Those percentages are usually single digits. I think in this particular month it was like 6, and I think in May it may have been 11% here. But again, we do a pretty good job of holding our own even against one of the nation's largest cable providers. And I think that's just the community itself supporting local here and what we try to do to make sure we have an experience that's unmatched. I've always talked about smart Wi-Fi. I do want to take a minute to kind of explain that as we moved to fiber, we made an effort to simplify our billing structure. So right now, on the cable side, a customer pays for the service, they pay for the rental of equipment, and if they have the managed Wi-Fi, this smart Wi-Fi, they paid for that as a part of that as well. So those additional charges are now going to be included in the service. So one of the things which is why I never thought it would be an issue to get people to switch from cable to fiber, is that when they do switch, their bill will be lower than it was before. If they went in the same tier, if they were paying $39 for a product, but they were renting a modem and have the Plume devices, they were paying $49. When they move to fiber, it'll be $39. It'll still include the managed Wi-Fi. So we've endeavored to create more value at a lower price. So while it's unfortunate we had to talk about the rate increase, which we don't control what those companies do with the rates, we do have an offer now with the streaming TV that, depending on someone's programming choices, will either be $5 more than they pay today for enhanced or $5 less. So the net on that means our overall customer base in enhanced, which is the largest group of customers that we have for TV, will be paying roughly the same rate that they pay on cable. The cable rate goes up, but they'll have an option that will virtually be the same as what they were paying. So we do think that what will happen here is what Mike was explaining, is people will migrate, for budgetary reasons, to the streaming package. But once they get there and they see the ease of use and the choices and some of the new channels and the seamless way it'll work on your phone, I know a couple of people here, we like to talk about our baseball team. And, I'm going on vacation in a week or two, and I'm going down where they want to show me the Atlanta Braves. I don't care about the Atlanta Braves, but on my phone, I'll be able to still watch Guardians games because I have the streaming platform set up that way. So it's a terrific platform. As people get past their aversion to technology, they'll find it really has some great things to offer. So we're really, looking forward to them making that transition. As it stands now, we've got 6,000 SuperPods out there, 3,100 customers, so more than half of our customers have the managed Wi-Fi now. We're managing, like I said, 36,000 plus devices now. That $10 a month goes away when you go to fiber, so we think that's a really good value for subscribers. Plus the speed of everything they have goes up. Currently, we've got 750 people installed on fiber, approaching 450 on streaming TV. You can go to wadsworthcitylink.com for more details. The map availability he was talking about, where the blue areas are where fiber is available now, is going to have a significant change in the next 2 weeks. I was going to say 10 days, just to be safe. 2 weeks, there will be significant additions. We had our contractor hand us a lot of documentation for splicing. We have to verify that. We want to make sure that before we pay this significant bill, that the work they did was done correctly. So we send out our teams to check their work, and they had a lot of it to do. They're just about complete with that. They expect to complete that Saturday. Once that happens and we verify that, we will update the maps. It will look significantly more blue, and we think that that will also help us with installs, because we'll get to a point where instead of us having to call customers, if we can drive customers to the website and they go, it's available where I am, I'm calling in to sign up for it now, that it will help us out in that regard. So that map update, I said by June 18th, I think that's fair to say that we'll have that. We are basically available at 2,500 homes once all that splicing is complete, so all of the infrastructure has been placed. They need to complete the optical part of that for us to have it available. We're in underground developments for most of the rest of the summer. So we've completed Weatherstone and Edenmore and Bluestone just to the north of that. We are almost finished in Blooming Acres and about to begin in Tiburon. So by the time we finish all that, there'll be 1,000 homes up there that we've done fiber to the home for. And we're, by the way, Weatherstone would be the first example of that. We've seen significant growth So in an area where there's about 200 homes, we've already added about 20 subscribers. So we're up 10%, really 20 if you look at what was still available. So we're seeing positive signs there. And with that, I'll turn it back over for any questions that you might have.
Any questions for Kevin?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Sue.
So we have 2,500 homes it's available in. How many homes do we have in Wadsworth?
About 9,600, I always say 10,000, but about 9,600.
So we're about 25% of the way there.
Yeah, I would tell you that probably it'll be 10,000 homes by the time we get there. If you take a look at the engineering department,
Yeah.
at all of the building that's,
Yeah.
on the books, we'll probably be there by the time it's done.
Any other questions?
Now, Kevin, it doesn't, it'll work on your phone, work on your computer, and we just add those on, right?
Yes, you have a username and password. It's available on those. It's just like another device. So, if you're going to go on vacation, you can, take it off one of your TVs, put it on your phone to take it with you. A lot of phones now have a screen sharing app available or, technology in it. So I can go, we're going to Myrtle Beach. I can go to Myrtle Beach, turn on the TV there and stream it from my phone and watch TV here.
Right.
It's pretty cool.
That's what I thought.
Yep. Kevin, thank you very much. Appreciate the update. Do our council update, Susan?
So one of the big things that happened since our last meeting is we did pass the Vance Farm annexation. That took a while, but it has been annexed. And of course, now we're working on the zoning for that. And it's been proposed, I think it was on second reading, or I think coming up. And I can't remember what PUD stands for.
Planned unit development.
Okay, so planned unit development. So basically, what we're going to do, and I think we've done it before in Wadsworth, but so you have a big, this is 60 acres, and so basically we're going to create a unique zoning package, I guess you'd call it, for this development. So it won't just be, that, they're going to use all the same zoning classifications that we have, but it'll be like all in one piece, and it'll be much easier for everything to be stated in one big picture instead of kind of piecemealing it. So that's good. And then we also we approved, I'm not sure whether I think also this went on second reading, a revitalization district. And that's an overlay of a certain part of mostly downtown Wadsworth. And one of the things it will do, it'll allow, probably for grants, for businesses to get some grants that they might not be able to get now. And also it'll increase the number of liquor licenses available, because right now we're out. And, that's a big deterrent to restaurants and things like that operating downtown. That will also, I think I'm right, Mike, correct me, includes the intermediate school, because they're the ones that made the application.
Yep.
the
group that is buying that and wants to put retail and,
Yeah, let's make sure we're correct. The intermediate school is not applying for a liquor license.
No, the people that are buying that.
But the old one, yes,
Yeah,
correct.
the old, right, yeah. No, they want to start selling,
Correct.
Liquor. But anyways, those are the two big things.
Good.
And then I would add, I'm going to join Joanna. This is my last commission meeting also. I am not staying around, so I won't be available. We are moving to Eastern Pennsylvania. We have one daughter and one set of twin grandchildren, and that's where they live. So we're going to move closer to them. So we'll be part of your churn rate. Sorry
Great.
for We're sorry about that.
Susan, well, thank you for your services. And we also have a cake for you.
Oh, do you really?
In the back, so we'll celebrate with that as well today. So thank you for everything. And also for the educational update, I'll give the update is we are on summer break. It's our favorite time of the year. We're on summer access, so appreciate everyone's patience with our students and staff as we wrapped up the school year, another successful school year for us. A couple of quick items and updates. Our administrative offices are moving out of our current admin building into our high school. We have started that transition. Our superintendent office and assistant superintendent offices have already transitioned to the high school. Next week, our curriculum office and our student services offices moves into the high school. And then at early July, our treasurer's department will move in there. So in July, we will have everyone into our high school. In order to access the administrative office, just come through the main entrance in the high school, and we will direct you to our offices.
So
that is-
what's the current administration building going to be used for?
That's going to be expansion of our Grizzly Academy, our alternative school that we started 2 years ago. We are expanding that to K through 12 this coming year. So they need all that building
So
for
it's
that
going to
space.
go back to being a school.
Go back to being a school, correct. Correct, so. And our last thing is we do have our intermediate school, current CIS is closing. We are doing one last kind of celebration walkthrough tomorrow night at First Friday. If you want to walk through that building for one final time as a school system, feel free to stop in Friday between 5:30 and 7:30, and you can walk in through CIS. But after that, it will be closed, and we're transitioning the sale to a local group. That'll take place at some point this summer, but there'll be no more access to that building after June 6th, tomorrow night for our school system. So pleased to announce that our new building is on track to open up in August. They're making great progress, so we're excited about that here in August. So with that, I'll conclude my report, and we have a next meeting scheduled for August 7th, 2025 at 4 p.m. And I'll ask for a motion to dismiss.
Steve, I'd like to just say a couple of remarks about Joanna's retirement
sorry, Mike.
as well. Joanna and I have been colleagues for 4 years now, and when I first started, she was instrumental in helping me understand and really learn about the public access channel, about the industry. I thought I had, great photography skills and all these things until I saw all that goes on and all that Joanna's been responsible for. But beyond that, she's done a great job as the leader of WCTV. She has been the only leader there that during my tenure, and she wears a lot of different hats. She's very strong from a technical background in terms of photography, video, production, but she's also educated as a marketing professional, and she's been, because of her personally, I think we've seen WCTV blossom over the years in a way that maybe it wouldn't have given all of the changes in the marketplace. When we're starting this, there's not a YouTube, there's not social media, those things don't exist. And Joanna's done a very good job of kind of managing through that and keeping the station very vibrant. Joanna, if you've seen some of the shows that she's produced, and I think that's always been maybe her favorite part of WCTV, it's just, fabulous, the coordination and direction and the editing and all of that stuff that she brings together. And I would encourage folks, when you're on our website, and if you're looking at the fiber and the CityLink pages, you'll see a video on there that Joanna produced in-house with our staff, really profiling what's going on in the project, what people can expect. And it's top shelf. It's a great job. Joanna has been very involved in the community, and not just as a representative of WCTV, but as part of production staffs. I'm not sure that many people know that, up until this very last football season, Joanna herself would often be on top of the press box during football games, helping with the coordination, helping with the filming. On the top of the press box, that's as high as you can go. And that's, she's enjoyed doing that, but it's that level of dedication and passion that I think, most of us can do a job, but when you're around somebody that really enjoys it and really interested in it and wants to see it succeed, there's like a different feel. There's just a different level of energy there, and Joanna has always brought that. We've had innumerable folks, a lot of part-time folks that she's trained, parents of athletes that would want to come in and learn about equipment so they could volunteer at different sporting events and record things, different students at the school. She's always graciously given her time to all of these causes, and it's been, I just want her to know that we appreciate that. One of the things about WCTV that's different than most of our other operations is it's not a 9-to-5 job. Sometimes it's a Friday night job, sometimes it's a Saturday afternoon job, sometimes you get something going on at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday and then you don't have something else going on until 6 o'clock that night. And Joanna has always made herself available, and her staff has that same work ethic to make sure that the community is well covered and well represented. So it's bittersweet. I'm very excited for Joanna. She certainly deserves time to herself and to explore all of her other things. I don't know that she's going to be any less busy than she has been, and I do know that she'll be, continue to support WCTV. But I want to recognize her both as a colleague and as a friend, and just say, I really don't think WCTV would be as vibrant as it is today if it weren't for John and some of the folks that have gone before you, but for you, Joanna, because the last 3 decades, you've put your stamp on WCTV. And then, for all of us that have been to one of the Clapper Awards, I thought to myself the very first year that I went to one, I can't believe how well put together this event is. And it's basically Joanna. It's not Joanna and a team of people. It's Joanna. And getting it ready, getting it set up, emceeing it. There's just so many different hats she wears, and she wears them all well. And I just want her to know that very appreciative. The mayor, Matt, Robert, everybody has been in awe of all the things you do, and just thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much. Well stated, Mike, and thank you, Joanna. With that, we'll ask for a motion to dismiss our meeting.
I so move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Don't say anything.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.